Hello everybody, I am Nicole with A-Frayed-Knot, and I am hopping on today to do a fun live with you all with Essential Stencil. And so if you are hopping on, just say hello and let me know you are here, where you're watching from. And if you catch the replay, just let me know you're watching the replay. So what we're going to do today is a fun patriotic project using a transfer from the, I'm going to tell you exactly what it's called. This is the one with the pups. It's called All American Pup. I think it is absolutely the cutest. I'm going to show you a couple of things I have created with the transfers and the stencils. And I actually have something on the other side of this that I made, and I really, really love it. So I'm about to show you how I love using the Essential Stencil products. And if you do too, let me know. Essential Stencil is offering an amazing deal today with, I believe it's 30% off. So if you want to go check it out, you can comment the word stencil and I'll DM you the link along with my coupon code, because it is my understanding you can still use that too. This is for today only. I would not sleep on this, okay? I promise you, you are going to want to take advantage of that. And after you spend a certain amount, you can even get free shipping. So this is a deal of all deals. I know this does not happen too often, so I would definitely make a point of getting some goodies, okay? So let me start by showing you, and if it sounds like I'm talking really speedy, it's because I'm on a time limit, and if you know me, I love to yap. So I have prepped my surface, and I am going to tell you a little bit about that, but first I want to show you a couple things I have made using the stencil and transfer combination. So this is one that I absolutely love. I love to do things that have texture. Now this is a frame I got quite a while ago from Hobby Lobby. Some of y'all may have seen it. This is actually a stencil and this is a transfer, and you can still get this right here. I would recommend, I love to show people how to achieve amazing texture and get products that look, and create things that look super expensive, and you can achieve that with stencils and transfers, okay? This is proof right here. So I also made this little cutie right here. So he also came from the All American Pup, and I used, these are some word packs that you can get from Hobby Lobby, and I stenciled stars on it. So cutie, I love him. And ta-da! Love. I'm all about turtles. If you follow me, sea turtles, tortoises, I actually have a tortoise. And he's right here. I'm going to show you guys, because he must be like, I know it's time for me to come out because he's been sleeping, but let me show you. Meet Clyde. This is my tortoise. He hasn't been out for a while. He's just barely starting to come out. He hibernates for the winter. So he's trying to make his way outside. Anyhow, all right, I am super excited. So let's get started. Oh, let me show you. This is, I love this. This says, with brave wings, she flies. This is from a mold that I had, but you can absolutely put anything inside of here. I absolutely love this. So our project today is going to be double-sided, and I'm going to use that Freedom cutout. And again, that's from Hobby Lobby. And we're going to use this little cutie right here. He is adorable. Let me get my iPad going really quickly so that I can see the comments, because I can't really see them from the camera. So let me slow down and catch my breath. I'm all out of breath. How's your Sunday going, you guys? Let me know how Sunday has been for you. I am in Southern California, so I'm on the West Coast with Pacific time, so it's only 12:35 here. So what I've done to my surface, and if you did not know, I have a chalk paint line. It is called AFK chalk paint. This is what I paint with all the time. So I painted this ahead of time because I knew I would only have a certain amount of time. I painted it with Liberty Blue. I love creating texture and depth, and I do it all kinds of ways. In fact, I have a workshop this Thursday and Friday. If you're interested in learning more about it, you can comment the word technique and I'll DM you the information. And if you want to join me, you can. But what I did with this is I painted it, and then I decided I'm going to distress the heck out of it. So that's what I did, because I pulled out some of that grain in the wood And I think I'm going to leave it just like that. And then I'm going to take our star stencil and I'm going to use the big one because it'll help me just to get like one quick coverage rather than use the smaller one. If this surface was any smaller, I'd probably go with the small one. And I'm going to put this little bubble wrap down here because this little hummingbird, which I love hummingbirds, by the way. I love all the birds, just saying. I'm especially partial to eagles. I just love everything that eagles stand for. So I want to protect that little hummingbird. That's the only reason that I have the bubble wrap down there, just to kind of give him a little bit of protection while I'm, you know, doing the stencil part. So I want to kind of get an idea. I think we'll do the transfer on here this way. Oh yes, that looks good. Freedom is going to go on here. I'm going to be stenciling stars onto, I don't know, I might not. I might even paint that red. You guys let me know in the comments. Should we leave this white or paint it red? Weigh in. Let me know in the comments what you think. And let's see. I was going to get this going and I got all excited and didn't do it. So I think what we will do is we're going to just stencil the stars, and I'm going to try not to go too heavy here in the center, just so it doesn't, you know, look funny. All right, there is our live. Okay, cool. I was kind of watching just before, so the volume was up. Sorry about that. All right, so we're definitely going to stencil the stars in the color cotton. Ooh, some of y'all are saying red. Renee said red. Hello, welcome. Where are you in California? Oh, that's your home, Roxanne. I am in the Southern California area. I'm in Riverside. So if this is your home, then you could be familiar if your home is like in the Southern California area. I'm not saying everybody knows where Riverside is, especially if you're from up north, but because California is big, you guys. I mean, it is big. So, oh, a lot of y'all are saying red. Okay, I think we'll probably go with red. I think we will. All right, just trying to find space to put all the things. Let's see here. Welcome, welcome everybody. It's so good to have everybody here today. I hope you guys are all having a great day. Now, I did say I'm going to kind of not try to get too heavy there in the middle. Now, the one thing that I like to do when I'm stenciling, and I say this all the time because one of the biggest questions that I hear from y'all is, how do you stop the bleed through, you know, in the stencils? And I'm going to tell you some of the tricks that I have learned. The biggest one is to use almost a dry brush. You want your brush to have almost no paint on it. So when I first put my brush in the paint like so, I always make sure I have some sort of like paper towel or something and offload as much as I can. Something else I also noticed is if your brush has any bit of moisture in it. So for example, I found this out the hard way. I had washed my brushes, thought they were dry, started to use them, and they weren't. Moisture inside of your brush, if they're not completely dry, any type of moisture will thin out your paint. And if your paint is thin, it's gonna want to seep underneath. So there you go. That's just kind of my takeaways on that. Okay, so I've got this kind of centered how I would like it, and I'm just gonna go in. I am lightly, very, very lightly just stenciling, because what you're going to see me do is go back over this and sand it. That's right, I'm gonna sand it. I want this to look very faint. I want the stars to look like they're kind of blending in. And every time I add a little bit more paint to my brush, I offload every single time. If I don't offload enough, that's when I'll start to notice some bleed through. I will take a peek every now and then just to see what it's shaping up like. And I'll tell you a little trick for me, because I do like things to be distressed. Not everything though, as you can tell behind me, I've got a lot of creations there. Not everything gets distressed, but One thing that I have noticed is when I do distress and I have some bleed through, that kind of helps to correct the bleed through, the distressing, because we're sanding it. Okay, let's see here. Yep, dry brush. I'm telling you, I usually will even demonstrate. Look at, you see how light that is on my hand? You want a completely dry brush when you are going into stencil, because if you have too much paint, that's when you'll start to get the bleed through. Okay, I think that looks good. There are just so many things I love to do with the stenciling. I have got a couple of signs. Actually, I've started doing this more, where I'll make it look kind of layered. So when you have, I'm not going to do it with this, but for example, I have this laid like so. And if I wanted to give it kind of like a pop, like almost a 3D looking effect, I don't know, it just does something to it and I can't quite put words to it. But I would move this just ever so slightly to the right or left. You can even go up or down, but just move it a smidge and then come in with a second color. And let me see. I know I have something here I could show you where I did that. Let me just think about it a minute. I've got a couple of signs, but I think one of them is in the house. Let me think about it. Something will come to my mind that I've got real close here and I can show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so there's what she's looking like so far. I don't want it like super saturated with stars. I just want the stars because see, our little pup is going to be, he is going to be the center of the show. And I just want the stars to be there faintly. So then what I want to do is, I think we'll put this in the water. We're done with that. Hey, Teresa. Hi, Cheryl. You can do that, Renee. I just tried. You can do that. You can definitely use your heat tool to dry it. I just try to have, well, this is my little bucket for all my stencil brushes. So I'm not the best at washing my brushes. I'm just going to be perfectly honest. That is something you really need to make sure that you do. But I just try to steer away from, unless I absolutely have to use that brush, because sometimes you might do a project where you need a bunch of different brushes at one time. Like if you say that silly goose sign back there, if you are stenciling that, which that's a stencil that I used, and you want to do each flower a different color, you would need a different brush for each one. So in a situation like that, where I might be using like every brush I have and then some, you might have to do that. I just still say, make sure you offload as much paint as you can, and then just go real light-handed, you know, just to be on the safe side, just real lightly handed. All right, so what I'm doing is sanding these. Just making it real faint, almost like they're gonna blend in. They just blend right in. It looks like just one whole piece here. Okay, so you can see how faint they are. All right, and then I'm gonna take another paper towel and just wipe that off, because when you put your transfer on, you do want to make sure that it is perfectly clean, dust-free, moisture-free, all the things. And I really, really want to kind of distress the edges of this a bit. Let's see, what color do I want to use? Let's start with this color right here. This is Vintage Photo. Okay. And I'm just going to kind of get the edges here. So this is Vintage Photo, and I'm just going around the edges, kind of grunging it up a little bit. I could even go into the inside and just get just a little bit inside here. Just just add a little bit of depth to it. So you can kind of see what that's looking like. All right, and then next, I'll put it, I'll go this way. That's good. We're gonna go ahead and transfer on our pup. I like to kind of cut them down just a little. Yes, Janet, 100%. That's a good idea. I usually will just kind of set them off on another table and let them dry. If the sun is out and it's nice, I might set them outside to, you know, dry in the sun. That usually helps them along. But I try to also just, I'm trying to get better at cleaning them, but just let them set overnight. And yeah, same. Thank you. Okay. So we're going to put the pup right here, and I want to see where I like the word freedom. And I was looking earlier, so a lot of you said red as far as what color to paint this. So why don't we go ahead and do that right now? Excuse me. Before we put our transfer on, let's go ahead and, oh my goodness, paint this out in, I'm going to use Hollyberry. So I also have Firehouse, which is a nice bright red, almost like a fire engine red. That's why it's called Firehouse. But Hollyberry is more of a muted down red with kind of a hint of pink to it. Now I've also got Red Barn that is more exactly like what it says, a Red Barn. More of like that vintage kind of red. Red Barn honestly would also look really good. I'm going to go with Hollyberry. And because our balloons, and even inside of the bow tie there on our pup, are more of like in between Hollyberry and Red Barn. So I don't want to go super bright. And I'm going to go ahead and use this. This paint color is actually inside of the May paint pack. And if you know, you know. If you don't, that is going to be one of the best ways to try out the paint, because the monthly paint pack is actually bundled. It's almost like buying 3 and getting 1 free. So I wanted to mention that. This color is in the May paint pack. So if you already got one, well, you got this color. And I'm using this little pouncer right here because it's just a lot easier. It's just a sponge little foam pouncer that I got from the Dollar Tree. It's just easier to get on these cutouts. Hey, Stephanie. Yes, Kim, this transfer is from Essential Stencil. I'm actually live today with Essential Stencil. So I'm here on my page, but I'm also with Essential Stencil in an event that they're hosting today. So I was super excited and thankful that they asked me to join. You all know that I absolutely love using the stencils and transfers. I wish there was more time in the day. I'll just make stuff. I'm not even kidding. Yesterday after the woodworking group, that's exactly what I did. The other side of this has something on it. And if you were here as soon as I first signed on, you've seen it. I'll show it at the end. But I got to just kind of sit here and create for a little bit yesterday. I intentionally did that, though. I'll tell you, there's so many things to do. I just was very intentional about sitting here after our woodworking group and just creating something. And then I prepped my surface for today. I just got all ready. Okay, so I just want to get that dried, and then I'm going to put a little bit more on it. Just a little bit. I just want to put a tiny bit more. I did not, Cheryl. I'm sorry. Okay. Thank you, Carol. I am, and I hope you are too. I'm excited to be, I better speed it up. I only got 10 minutes. That time went by so fast, you guys. I'm not even kidding. Not even kidding. Wow. Okay. Very pretty. Love that. We're going to set that to the side and then let that get dried. I cannot believe how fast the time is going by. That's wild. And then we're going to transfer this guy. Just kind of wiping, making sure that it is dry, free of dust, all the things. Okay. Oh yes, that's perfect. Just making sure that I got that on there nicely. And then I'm only using this because the backside has a little something on it. And I just want to make sure if I, you know, am I transferring, I don't want to break my piece on the backside. I ended up doing this double-sided. And this surface right here, in case you're wondering, this is a template from my woodworking group and, or a pattern, that I created for my woodworking group, and I thought it would be fun to use it. We have a library full of patterns that I've created and provided for the woodworkers, and then I teach them how to cut them out. And I love to do surfaces because you can't always find good surfaces to make things on. And so we have a handful of them now over in the woodworking group, this being one of them. I just love ornate looking surfaces. And I love to be able to add different elements of texture to them. My mind just goes wild when it comes to that. And that's exactly why I'm having the workshop on Thursday and Friday of this coming week. So if you're interested, just comment technique and I'll DM you that information so you can check it out. But if you hopped on after I had announced Essential Stencil is having an amazing deal this today, and if you need the link, you can comment stencil and I'll DM you the link and my coupon code, because it is my understanding you can still use the coupon code. I love that. That is so exciting. Okay, now what I'd like to do is I like to just kind of pull up a corner. Let me see if my finger will, there we go. I like to just pull up one corner and then pull it back slowly so I can make sure the transfer is staying down, because if it starts to come up, I just lay it back down and then go over it again. Like right here, because sometimes I miss little spots. So cute. Oh my goodness. Stop it. Look at that cutie pie. Oh, love. Okay, let's make absolute sure this guy is dry. Hey, Tabitha. Hi, Kim. Okay. Okay, I think what I will do is take my little paintbrush here. I'm not going to stencil stars on there. I feel like it kind of be a overload. I just want to put a little bit of speckles on this. I like to call them just like little fly specks. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this. And then we're going to dry it one more time. And then I'm going to take my stick fast here. Got 5 minutes, you guys. 5 minutes to bring this train into the station. Okay. Me too, Maggie. I love these. I love all the transfers. I'm not even just saying that. I love them all, but these little puppies are so stinking cute. Look at how adorable is that? And this can be just like a little leaner. And this side, this is what I was telling y'all I made yesterday. With a brave wings, she flies. I love hummingbirds, but there is that one. Super cute. Now, if you wanted to make a hanger for this, what I would do is just take my, take some of this nautical rope. I kind of pre-cut some, and I would just make a little hanger for it like so. That's kind of long. Let's bring this down just a little bit. Now, what I'm going to say, you got to kind of be careful because one side is vertical and one side is horizontal. If they were both horizontal, I would put wire and make a hanger that way, but I didn't do that. So we have horizontal and we have vertical. So what I would do for this side, if I wanted a hanger, is just fix this on here like so with a little knot. I could even come in with one of these or glue this down. Let's see what this looks like. I usually have these open already. Oh, there they are. Okay. These are just like little furniture tacks. I don't know if that. Man, I was yapping too much in the beginning, and so here we are, running out of time. Let's see if that'll work. No, it doesn't quite go through. It's kind of thick. Let's see what this looks like. And then when you're not using this side, you can just kind of pull this down to have this side, because this leans also. They can, either one can be a leaner, but if you want something to be able to hang it from, then I would use some nautical rope just like this and make a hanger for it. And then just knot this side. These are just furniture tacks. You can get them like this at Hobby Lobby. I think I got those from an estate sale. And then I'll put this right here. I'm not going through the knot because it's too thick. Bent it. Oh no, 1 minute. Oh my gosh, come on, we can do it. We can do it. Oh, come on. Okay, whew, we did it. And there is our hanger. And then, like I said, you can just push it down if you do it double-sided just like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you were inspired to create something. Thank you so much for being here. If you're not already following me, make sure and hit that follow button. Comment technique if you want to learn more about my workshop. Stencil if you want me to DM you the link and my coupon code. And you can head over to my online shop by commenting shop AFK and check out the paint and all the things. So enjoy the rest of your day. Have fun watching everybody else, and I will see you guys soon. Bye for now.